Toy Freddy slowly walks toward me and as I break free of Bonnie's grip. Freddy gets ready to bite me, but Jill hops out and pounces at him. She grabs a hammer she took from the back room and starts constantly smashing him with it. Bonnie continues to try and attack me. Toy Freddy continues to fight back Jill's attack. Then Jill flips him over and smashes a certain place on his back. Suddenly, his suit pops off. His naked endoskeleton lies on the ground. There's a gray button on the back of his head. Jill pushes that button and Toy Freddy goes into pieces. Everyone, we need to take them apart, Jill says. I try to hit the special part on Bonnie's back, but I guess that feature is only for the new animatronics. Officer Marley charges at Bonnie. I found it, he says. He twists this thing on the back of the connector between Bonnie's head and body. The endoskeleton seems to come apart, leaving Bonnie as an empty suit. It seems something was wrong holding the endoskeleton together. 8 more to go, I say. Wait, where's Marley? Asks Jill. I turn around and Marley was missing. We need to deactivate the robot first, says Bradley. Suddenly, Foxy swings his hook at me again. It hits the table. I hop on his back and start turning the switch. He shakes around, trying to get me off, but falls into the ground, becoming a suit. We now have 7 more to go. I walk back into the kitchen and open the door. Both Chicas walk out. Bradley grabs the old Chica and I grab the new Chica. I push Toy Chica down and grab the gun. I start beating her back with it until her suit comes off. Her cupcake falls onto the floor. I push the button on her back and her endoskeleton takes itself apart. I look over to see old Chica's body on the ground. 5 more to go. We walk over to the hallway because that's the only place we have not checked. We see the new Bonnie messing with the party hats. Marley walks up to him and bashes his back with the hammer. I don't want to watch him be disabled. I walk into the office where I see old Freddy messing with the fan. I want to make this quick. I run in and turn the knob. He falls onto the desk and the empty... Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. It's more technical difficulties. How many technical difficulties have there been this whole entire story? Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I hate technical difficulties. They're the worst kind of difficulties. Okay, we'll just start here. I don't want to watch him be disabled. I walk into the office where I see old Freddy messing with the fan. I want to make this quick. I run in and turn the knob. He falls onto the desk as an empty suit. We have 3 to go. I turn around to see Balloon Boy. He stands still like he's accepting what's happening. Like he wants it to happen. I walk over to him and disassemble him. It's only Mangle and the puppet. Where's Mangle? I ask Bradley. Right here, answers Jill. She pulls out the more mangled Mangle. Okay, let's go find the puppet and Marley, says Jill. We all walk into the main room. Marley sits on the ground. Marley, I yell. She doesn't move. I slowly walk over to her. Suddenly, the puppet emerges from his box. He doesn't have any strings. He's been held up by nothing. He walks over to Marley. He holds a present in his hands. He sets down the present in front of her. Then he starts to pet her. He strokes her hair, then walks away. I walk over to Marley. I touch her shoulder. I walk in front of her. She has a big knife cut in her stomach. She isn't breathing. No, I whisper to myself. This can't be. I feel a tear falling down my face. I walk over to the bathroom. I look into the mirror, trying to forget what I just saw. I begin hitting the wall. Why did that have to happen? What kind of sick freak would do that? Suddenly, I hear a snap from the wall. It reveals a secret door. I look around, then open it. I walk inside. There seems to be a long hallway. There were holes in the wall from decay. I continue walking until I bump into a door. I turn the knob and open the door. Behind the door is a room. There are posters on the wall and mysterious cracks on the ceiling. Water seems to drip from the top. I look around to see if there's anything worth seeing. I begin to turn around and I see a man standing behind me. He seems to be in a yellow bunny mascot costume. It seems like a different Bonnie, but yellow and seems to be withered of age. "Hello, officer," I hear from deep inside the mask. He holds a sharp blade. I know what it was used for. It seems to be covered in Marley's blood. "You did it, didn't you?" I ask. "The same thing I've been doing for years," he says. "Why are you wearing that costume?" I ask. "Because they will be angry at me," he says. "The souls of the children I've killed are inside the animatronic mascots," he said. "You monster," I tell him. They are confused on who killed them, so they'll hunt down whoever they think killed them until they are free, he continues. "Is that why they tried to attack us?" I ask. "Good job," he says. "You think a glitch in their facial recognition is why they bit that one guy?" he asks. "The reason that I'm wearing this is because they don't recognize me this way. I'm one of them now," he notes. "So you're able to trick so many people?" I ask. "For a while, I even ended up convincing myself," he says. "Do you know what will happen when people find out about this?" I ask. "Oh, no one is going to find out," he says. Suddenly, I feel two animatronic paws grab me and they begin dragging me. I wake up in this weird coffin-like place. I look up and see the roof. I can also see the man in the costume walking around. I seem to be under a trap door. Then I see him suit Marley's body in a yellow bear costume. "Marley," I begin to stutter. The man turns around and looks at me. "Goodbye, officer," he says. Then he shuts the trap door. End of chapter. Okay, let's recap on that chapter. That was chapter 7, Officers Overnight. There's a bunch of investigators that walked into the pizza place and started investigating like they do. And then, they all died. Horrible. I mean, we only get to see Officer Jin die, so I won't say anything about the other officers. So, yeah. Let's go on to chapter... Oh, yeah, also Marley died. Yeah, that was sad. That was quite sad. Okay. So, let's move on. Let's get prepared here. Okay, guys. Chapter 8. You Won't Die. Point of view, Barbara. The Road, 1987. I need to be quick if I can ship these on time. Apparently, something went wrong with the new Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Apparently, a couple of animatronics attacked one of the employees. Children and 4 police officers also went missing during this devastating event. None of the bodies were ever found, so I have to get rid of the robots. I'm currently driving the delivery truck, and I'm shipping them to this guy named Tom. I guess he used the scrap parts to build things important for people that live in the area. After a few hours, I drive by his garage. I knock on the garage door. "Who in God's name is knocking on my garage at this hour?" I hear him say. "It's me, Barbara," I tell him. "Who?" he asks. "I'm here to give you the scrap metal," I say. Suddenly, I see a slight tall man with white hair. He seems to be kind of old for doing a job like this, but he looks up to the job. "Nice to meet you, Barbara," he says. We shake hands. "Well, I suppose you're Tom," I say. "Sure I am," he says. "Well, they're in the back," I tell him. He walks over to the truck and opens the backs. "That's a lot of metal," he says. "They were from 11 different animatronics," I tell him. Yeah, I know all about the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza thing going on," he says. "Is blood still on the Foxy thing or whatever?" he asks. "They would have cleaned it, I'm sure," I note. He pulls out the broken down animatronics. He sets them all on a pile in the driveway. "You can let me take the suits too?" he asks. I look down to the pile and say the costumes are still there. "Well, if they didn't take them, I'm sure," I tell him. "Alright, well, I better get these into the garage before sundown," he says. "And I'll be heading on my way," I tell him. "Okay, have a nice day," he says. "You too," I respond. Point of view, Circus Baby. Michael's house, 1990. I begin to walk to Michael's bathroom. I've been using his body for years, and since it's been years, his body has been rotting. I don't think I can hold out in this disguise any longer. People will soon find out the truth about the scooping. The truth about me. I hack out a couple of robot parts out of me. There's nothing I can do now. I made a promise. You won't die, I say to myself. That's the promise I made, and look, I'm breaking it. I only have one choice. I need him to be possessive of his own body. His soul is still inside of me, but I can't control the body. I do. I walk into the living room. I need to deactivate myself. I reach into the inside of my body. I pull the switch on which ends all of us and brings Michael back to life. Point of view, Michael Afton. Michael's house, 1990. I open my eyes. I am possessive of myself again. I can move on my own. My skeleton is still a robot, though. It's a bit uncomfortable. Then I realize something. The children are still alive. I know all the animatronics were destroyed, but the souls are still roaming around in purgatory. The only way they would be free is if their killers were dead. Henry killed himself while my father is still alive. I can't allow that, though. Next time I see him, it will be the end. The kids will be free. I will be free. Clara, Jack, Till, they'll all be free. But that's only if father was dead. I turn on the TV, and that's on as ads. All that's on is ads. I begin to turn the channel, but I see something that makes me stay on the advertisements. I see Freddy on stage with the other animatronics. They look more like the older ones, except different. They had no upper teeth, basically just some simple adjustments. Suddenly, I realize, they are the exact suits I saw in Circus Babies, in that hidden room. Papers and papers explaining Father and Henry wanting to reopen Freddy's. It wasn't about the 1987 one. It was about this. This is my time. I'm going over there. Father will most likely be searching out for his new victim. When he least sees it, bam! Everyone is free. And continue watching the advertisement. Then will it open? When will it open? Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, 1993. I walk inside the building. Everything seems like it was. Pirate's Cove was in the same place. The animatronics had the same placement. They really did remake the old location.